Kickin' with Kayla on HB Radio.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Kickin' It with Kayla. I'm here with Mikey, as always. And then I also have two of my friends here, Kayla.
Hi.
I was like, is she gonna say hi? And Claire. So these two have a lot going on, but you do have something in common. They both were in Playboy, so I feel like that's one part of you guys' life, and you have so much other stuff going on, and I can't wait to dive into it. But before we get into that, let's do an icebreaker.
Yeah, we got some icebreakers. I'm asking Kayla first. Kayla, who was your 90s celebrity crush?
Then you better start thinking because you're next.
I know, gosh, I don't even know.
I know
So,
mine.
Yeah, she probably has more 90s celebrity crushes than me because I was like super sheltered when I was younger. So actually, you know what? I know who it was. Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh,
that was my
everyone.
man. And
That's a good one.
JTT, yeah.
It's a good one. It's usually Justin Timberlake or Justin, the other Justin.
Yeah. Who's yours now, Claire?
Yeah, go ahead, Claire.
Okay, so do you guys remember Pete and Pete?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I remember
Pete
that.
and Pete on Nickelodeon. So Danny Tamborelli was the little brother, and when I was a kid, I was so obsessed. I found his number in a yellow book. I found his parents' number in New Jersey. I called them when I was a little kid. I was like 8 years old. I'm like, hey, is Danny there? And he's in college right now. And I was obsessed. I later met him. He was in a band. And yeah, so I met him and we had a little crush on each other, but he was doing his band thing and then it just dissipated. It never really.
What?
That's crazy. So she
You
actually met.
manifested.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like we're always talking about manifestation. We're woo woo girls.
Yeah,
And,
it's like shoot your shot, you know?
Yeah, seriously. But it was just like he was my dream boy. It's so funny. And my boyfriend now, Danny's Tamborelli's character Pete had a petunia, like a mermaid, tattooed on her forearm. My boyfriend has the petunia tattoo on his forearm. That was what first attracted me to him. Was I saw that petunia. It was like ooh.
Oh, that's it.
All because of this childhood crush. That's so funny.
What the heck? That's awesome. Just looking things up in the yellow book, like.
Oh, I seriously was. I was crazy little kid. So yeah.
I was like sliding in your DMs back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it works. Like looking
For
you up in the
real.
yellow book.
That's
stalking.
crazy that they were even in there. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you were able to find them. I'm sure
Yeah.
you probably weren't
Crazy.
the only person who did that. A little kid, you know?
I think
was
I
a
tried to
crazy
do that.
stalker kid.
I feel like I tried to do that for Eminem at some point in my
Oh
life.
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Marshall
like,
Mathers,
I'm gonna
Marshall
find
Mathers,
this guy.
Marshall
I
Mathers.
did that actually. I remember who else I had a crush on. The Hanson brothers.
Oh.
I loved Hanson. No joke. At one point in my room, I had my entire room from floor to ceiling just covered in Hanson posters. I even had a cardboard cutout of
Oh my
Hanson.
God.
A cardboard
No.
cutout. Yeah. I bought like a life-size cardboard cutout of the Hanson brothers. I went to all their shows. I was like waiting overnight for their tickets. I was in love with them. I thought I was gonna marry a Hanson
Are they still
brother.
around? Mbop.
Yeah,
I
they
remember
are,
that.
and they're actually really good. Like they're
Yeah.
still awesome.
I was just gonna say that. I looked them up recently, and they're still making music together. And I think I saw something online that they redid the Bop song recently.
I
Pretty
mean,
cool.
their like young voices were so much better.
Oh,
I
of
think, than
course.
who they are now, but yeah, it's an era. The Hanson era was.
Oh,
was
for
an era.
sure, for sure. Okay, next icebreaker and last icebreaker. Favorite '90s cartoon.
Ooh,
So
there's
you go
so many
first.
good ones. Where do we start?
There's so
Rocco's
many.
Modern Life.
Oh,
yeah!
That's so funny.
Okay, yeah, he's got the tattoo of Rocco. So let's see. Oh God, there's too many. I've been revisiting all of the 90s cartoons to see if they hold up. So I've been rewatching Doug, and it doesn't hold up.
No,
No,
yeah.
Doug was hard
It doesn't.
to rewatch.
You know what's so
Yeah.
sad is I feel the exact same way, and I did that recently with my all-time favorite cartoon from the '90s, Rugrats.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know, I still love it, but at the same time, it's just not the same when you're old.
Yeah.
It's not.
You know,
no.
it's
All that
crazy.
too was like the SNL of our childhood. But
Yes.
when you rewatch it now, you're like, this is so dumb.
So-
How the
I know.
fuck was I so
Right?
enthralled with this?
I know, the Amanda Show.
Yes.
Stupid.
Oh man, Keenan from Keenan and Kel is still thriving though. He's still doing it.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah.
And Kel, it's unfortunate. Kel actually, like, his whole life story is crazy. He ended up, I think, having a drug addiction, and then he got really into religion, and now he's doing his orange soda. Like he goes and does like these different events and like does his orange soda stint. But yeah, like
I love that she knows this.
Yeah, I need to get him on Kickin' It with Kayla.
Oh, you need to get him on Kickin' It.
100%.
Yeah.
We need to give him a platform to talk about orange soda.
Right?
Yes.
There you go.
But yeah, because I loved Kel. I thought Kel would end up being on SNL. Like he was out of the two of them. I met them when I was 6 years old at All That taping.
No, you did
Yes,
not. You
I
went
love
to
them.
an All That
Yes,
taping?
and guess who was there that day? I wanted to see the Spice Girls who were the week before, but missed them, and Destiny's Child was there. A fresh baby Beyonce was there performing that night.
What?
Yes. Isn't
That's
that
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
iconic.
It was
Yeah, it is.
crazy. And
Did you get pictures?
Yes, they're somewhere buried in the depths of the archives.
You need to find that.
Yeah, right?
Some
What
quality
the heck?
material.
Yeah. So I don't even know where. I just jumped in. I got excited about that. Oh, it was Kel.
Why did I talk
Kel. I loved Kel. I thought Kel was gonna mature and go on to be on SNL, and it was Keenan instead. I never saw that coming.
Yeah, he's on a new Keenan.
Keenan is on a new
Keenan is on the new show with Chrissy Teigen called Bring the Funny. Mikey and I have been watching it. It's so good. It's like American Idol, kind of. It's nothing like American Idol, but it's like it because it's like a game show where like comedians go up and they perform, and then you like move on to the next round if they like your stand-up kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And he's like a judge on that with Chrissy Teigen. And
Oh, that's awesome.
And Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
What about you, Kayla? What's your favorite 90s cartoon?
Oh gosh, like I said, I was super sheltered when I was.
You
a
had
kid.
TV?
I know. No, I wasn't allowed to watch
No?
anything. No, because I was from like a really Christian family actually, so I wasn't allowed to watch like anything that was on TV at all. Really, I of course Rugrats. That's
Yeah,
one of them.
the
That's one that I
best.
remember, but I can't remember because I like never was allowed to watch TV or anything that was on Nickelodeon. 'Cause it was like.
Raunchy.
Yeah, too raunchy.
Raunchy.
Like, you know, like they have these like little
Innuendos.
Yeah, I guess it's.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so they didn't want me watching anything.
Super Christian families are like interesting when it comes to stuff like that. Like
Right.
no Disney, it's like evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Harry
I was
Potter.
allowed
no
to
way.
watch Disney, but I wasn't allowed to watch Nickelodeon at all.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
They're very
I
similar
know,
networks.
right? It's weird. I know, and Disney has, I guess. Have you seen the different things they have? Like Disney has these like hidden
buried,
messages
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. I don't know if it's true. I mean, some of it kind
some
of
of it
seems.
is.
I think I looked them all up one time.
Yeah.
And
YouTube.
all the covers of VHS, like whatever the covers from the Disney movies, there's always something hidden in there.
Like a
dick.
hidden dick
There's a
or
dick
something.
somewhere.
Yeah, right? Like the like castles, like penises.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid had that. The shell, I think it's little castles in the back were a dick, and then when they're getting married in the Little Mermaid, what's the word I'm looking for? The initiator, whatever his name is, who does the marriage, gets a boner.
No.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
so, yeah.
So crazy.
Claire, you do so much research.
Weirdo.
I know.
This is great.
The things that Claire knows, I love it. All right, so we do this segment on here called From the Ground Up, where you kind of just like give us a basic general idea of how it all started for you, how you got to this point. I know you came from a Christian family, but like, how did you get to be Kayla now?
Okay, so at this point right now, I am a DJ. That's my main focus. And so it kind of shifted into that. I started out in the entertainment industry. I lived in Pennsylvania, and I have been in theater and acting school and singing since I was little. I actually went to theater school with Taylor Swift randomly.
What?
Yeah, and so I grew up just always wanting to be an entertainer, loving music, and I used to make like mixtapes for my friends when I was a little girl, just as like gifts. So I didn't actually mix them,
Back
but
in the
it's just
CD
like
days.
1, 2, yeah, back in the CD days, I would like write on the CD the different tracks that I had on there. I always wanted to be a DJ, but I lived in Pennsylvania, small town, and you know I was actually going to college at Penn State, and the Girls Next Door was airing at the time, and I became a huge fan of the Girls Next Door. I was always really intrigued by the Playboy world. It's kind of ironic because I grew up saying, like from the time I was like 14, I had this boyfriend who had pictures of like Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy on their wall, and I was like, one day I'm gonna be in Playboy and he's gonna be so pissed off. I'm 30, you know, like I'm gonna get him back one day. And then so I started watching. So fast forward back to college, and watching The Girls Next Door, became like a huge fan of the show. And at the time, this was like the MySpace days. So I followed Holly Madison on MySpace. I followed them all, but Holly actually saw my picture in her friend requests. And at the time I was working at like an ice cream shop in Pennsylvania, and I had like, in my picture, it was like a picture of me in my ice cream shop uniform. And I sent her friend request, and she wrote me a message on MySpace and was like, you should really consider testing for Playboy.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's a crazy story.
Yeah, I've had.
I wonder if she. Okay, we'll get to it. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know if you're friends with her still, or does she remember that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. So they ended up showing. It was so crazy because I was such a big fan of the show, and they ended up showing the whole thing on the show because the producers thought it was like such a cool story that she found me on MySpace, and then they did this episode where they did our test shoots on the show. So I flew out to California, did the test shoot, and there were a couple other girls, and actually Hef had not been to the studio since like the 70s, and he showed up the day of my shoot. I was literally in the middle of shooting, butt naked, doing a test shoot,
hello.
And he walks in, and he hadn't been there since the 70s, and he came to my shoot. I was like, wow, this is pretty epic. So I got up and gave him a hug, saying, nice to meet you. It's so crazy. So they showed that all on the show, and then I ended up being kind of like a big part of the Playboy family. I was on seasons 4, 5, and 6 of The Girls Next Door, and that's kind of how I like started to build my fan base, and I started doing all kinds of different stuff in the entertainment industry. That was like how I got my foot in the door, and that's what I thought would help me to get my foot in the door, to kind of go in the direction I wanted to. I wanted to DJ. I had all these different things I wanted to do, but I just knew that Pennsylvania, the small town, was not going to be the place to do it.
Oh, trust me, I know. I'm from there.
Yeah, exactly. You're from Jersey, right? So
well, I was born in Bucks County in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Then I moved to Jersey.
Okay.
So I know that small town. That ice cream shop, that's a real thing.
Yeah. Well, do you know Friendly's? Do you guys know Friendly's?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, that's where I worked. Yeah. So actually they did for my centerfold shoot, my theme was like an ice cream shop.
Shut up.
Yeah. So it had like whipped cream and like all kinds of. It was really cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So and then when I was like 20, 21, I learned to DJ. So it's been years. I just kind of like at first as a hobby, and then it transitioned into a career, and that's like my main focus now. So I've done a ton of acting and modeling over the years, and now it's mostly just DJing. So yeah, cool. And that's where I'm at now.
That's awesome. That's cool that you're able to take that and branch it off into something that you're really passionate about.
Exactly.
I know that you're like traveling all over, doing big gigs, and she's at Tao here in Vegas now.
Yeah, Tao Beach. I don't know if we went up this. No, we saw you at
Marquee.
With Marquee to see you. Mm-hmm. She bounces around.
It was windy and cold that day.
But we were there. We were there to support.
We were there to support it.
I know, you guys are awesome.
So what about that boyfriend? Did you ever talk to him again, or?
Which one? Wait, which boyfriend?
No, does he have a picture of you on his wall now, or what?
Okay, yes. That's so funny and good follow-up. Yes, he did call me. He found out that I was going to be in Playboy, and he called me just like clockwork. As soon as he found out, he was like, "Oh, hey, I was just seeing how you're doing."
Of course you were.
Of course.
You're like, you already know how I'm doing.
Right?
Exactly.
And I have to say though, he also invited me in that call. The call that he followed up to see how I was doing, he asked me if I wanted to go on a cruise with him. I was like, dude, no, dude.
I'm good. Thank you. I would rather not be stuck on a ship with you.
Yeah, no.
No, exactly. But yeah, he still calls me to this day and like tries to touch base with me. I haven't seen him since, but
you're like, go find another girl from the ice cream shop.
Right? And I feel like, Claire, you kind of have a similar path where you used Playboy to get to where you want to be. And so what's your from the ground up?
So with Playboy, okay, so manifestation story. When I was in high school, on my binder, I had a bunch of pictures of pinups. like Betty Page and.
I'm like a huge Betty Page fan.
Oh
also.
yeah, I was
Pinup
obsessed.
stuff.
Yes, and I had like Elfgren and like all these old Vargas and all these old vintage pinups on my binder. And I was just dipping my toes into modeling, but every gig that I would book would be like pinup inspired. And yeah, so I wanted to do pinup work. I wanted to do pinup artwork specifically. And yeah, my dad dealt in memorabilia, and he was dealing with this pinup artist, Olivia. And he brought me to her house one day, and I asked her if I could shoot with her. And she said I was too young. I was 18 at the time. And I said, I have so much experience that I've been modeling for a couple years. I showed her on my iPhone. I was like, flipping through the photos. She's like, we'll do a test shoot. I can't guarantee that I'll paint you from it, but we'll see how you model. And from that test shoot, she ended up painting like 10 pieces from that.
Oh
and
my God.
One of the pieces she brought to Hef, she brought the test shot that they took to make the painting to Hef, and brought me up to the mansion on a Sunday, a movie night. They have movie nights on Sundays. And so she brought that picture to him, and during the movie that night, he kept turning around in his chair and looking at me. And then at the end of the movie, his friends kept telling me that I looked like Barbie, which was like, I guess, his old girlfriend from the 70s.
No.
Barbie Benton, yeah. And I didn't know who she was at the time, but there was a bust of her in the mansion, and I saw her, and I did look like her a little bit. And I think that's what
Super similar.
Yeah, so I think Hef saw that and like was like drawn to that. And then he asked for my name and number that night, and the next day I got a call from Playboy to test shoot, and I test shot and then moved into the bunny house like a month later. And then I became Playmate of the Year, and that led to a show out in Vegas. It was a burlesque show, which was called Pinup. And then from there, that show closed like 2 years ago. Now I have a themed hotel in downtown Vegas called Claire B&B. Every unit is a different theme. It's kind of like the Madonna Inn in San Luis Obispo.
So sick.
Do you know of Madonna Inn?
Yes.
Yes.
And I've seen pictures of your Airbnb or your Claire B&B.
Yeah.
And it's just, you guys have to look it up. Just look it up. The rooms are so sick.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's amazing.
She's worked so hard on it too.
Yeah, it's been a big pain to get rolling, but it's finally like at a spot where I'm like super proud of it. There's a 70s themed room, a Pee-wee's Playhouse, like a 1980s room, vintage glitz, which is pink glittery, 1950s room, Mystic Moon, which is like a galaxy outer space room, and then Fairy Tale Suite, which is loosely based on Beauty and the Beast. So like everything, like a bunch of people come there just to take photos. There's a big photo shoot spot, but we get a lot of creative people that come in and do YouTube videos and just film. We've had music videos shot there, commercials, and yeah, it's awesome to see the rooms being utilized in like creative ways and
For
people
sure.
appreciating
For
it.
art, yeah.
And
really
it's
cool.
also an actual hotel.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that.
That's 420 friendly.
Oh yes, how do I forget that? Thank you for the plug.
For the plug.
Yes, we're 420 friendly, which if you smoke in any other hotel, there's like a crazy fee. But you can just smoke. A lot of people go out in the courtyard. They meet each other during their stay. They become friends while they're staying there because they're all just smoking and enjoying themselves. And yeah, I think we're like one of the only 420 friendly hotels in Vegas.
That's so cool.
We need to go visit. I'm ready.
Yeah, I know. I've seen so much of it online. I have to see it in real life.
I'm sold. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's been a fun project. So, and it's like finally, it took a long time to complete, but we're there now. So like, if you guys ever want to come through and get a tour of it, like,
Oh,
let me
for
know.
sure.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Kayla
yeah.
should shoot there. Remember
Yeah,
I
come
said-
and shoot.
Yeah. Oh,
Love
hell
it.
yeah.
Do a
that
little
would be
pinup
amazing.
shoot there.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be sick.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, what inspired you to want to have your own hotel? Like, how did that come about?
It was weird. I wanted to invest in real estate, and the building was going for pretty cheap. The apartment building that I ended up buying, and I was really inspired by the Madonna Inn. It's my favorite vacation spot, and there's nothing really like that in Las Vegas. There's no themed hotel. I mean, there's a couple places that are a little themed out, but nothing so specific as the Madonna Inn.
Right.
So I wanted to have like Vegas's answer to the Madonna Inn.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was basically what
And I feel
inspired
like
it.
downtown is a perfect spot for it too.
Oh yeah.
Definitely more like hipster.
Hipstery,
vibes.
yeah, artsy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I think especially like our area, it's near the center, the LGBT center.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I think that area, it's definitely like it's going to be the perfect home for it soon. I mean, it still is. It's a growing spot.
It's definitely still growing downtown, but over the past course of, I don't even know, like a couple of years, it has gotten so much cleaner, so much nicer.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere in Vegas.
awesome.
It's awesome to see it just grow, you
Growing.
know, and be here during that time.
Yeah, how did you get involved in being in Vegas?
I originally, kind of a long story why I moved out here, but it was a business venture I had, and that was, we wanted to open a company in Vegas because obviously, it's less expensive out here. So that's kind of what originally brought me. And, with DJing, it's like the main place to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care about DJing in LA. I do occasionally, but Vegas is really where it's at when it comes to DJing.
LA's whole nightlife scene is just weird to me.
Yeah,
It
I'm not
really
really
is.
an LA kind of nightlife fan, to be honest.
Well, they finally passed a law. I don't know if you guys heard that now they will be able to go past 2 a.m. But
Thank God,
it's
that's the worst part.
thank
It's
God.
the worst. It's so
horrible.
bad.
You
I
get
know.
somewhere and a half hour later they're saying like last call. And I'm like, wait,
Yeah, because nobody goes out until like 12:31, and then you're there until 2. So
Yeah.
you're there for like 1 hour.
You get like 3 drinks and you're like, all right, let's go to someone's house.
Right.
Like,
Then out here we're like used to just leaving our house at like maybe 12. 11,
Right,
like-
exactly. And same with New York too, because I lived in New York for like half of the year this past year, and it's the same thing. It's like
I
you
hate
literally go to like 6, 7 a.m. and it's
Yeah.
just like it's crazy. It never stops. The city never sleeps.
I know.
Same as Vegas, obviously.
yeah.
Hold on, so I
definitely.
have a question. So obviously we're in reality TV. I looked up you online, and you were on a reality TV show
Oh,
called
yeah.
I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah, what is
I need
that?
to know everything. I need to know
Oh my gosh, you
everything.
guys.
I've kind of heard of that show, but I don't know anything about it.
It was so crazy, the show. It was it's basically like Fear Factor meets Survivor, and they get like 12 to 16 million viewers a night, so it's a huge show. And
Is this in the UK?
yeah, it's in the UK,
okay.
and it's on every day for a month straight, so it's kind of different how they do their TV versus us.
Yeah.
And so it'll be on for 30 days straight, and during those 30 days, the people get so engaged, like the viewers are just super engaged, and they get to vote, so they can vote like who they want to go see do a trial, and so I actually, for the most part, the camp would get to decide within our camp who would get to go do the trials. So each day, because the trials were horrific.
Were they like challenges
Yeah,
and stuff?
like-
Yeah, they were like major challenges, like but they were involving like creepy crawlers.
Oh.
You know,
Oh,
like,
I saw your face in some of the pictures from the show, and you looked mortified
Yeah.
just being there. You're just like,
Yeah. I was so over it, but obviously you go in there with a mission, you want to win. But I don't know, a few weeks in, because it's 30 days, so a few weeks in, I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, I want to leave.
Yeah, I feel
I
you.
was so over it. It was actually, so it's supposed to be warm over the time we shot it, but it was freezing and raining every single day because it's in a rainforest, and you actually are camping. Like, it's real.
Ugh.
It's all real. They have cameras that are hidden in the rocks. So yeah, it's just like you don't really interact with people. Like they see the real you. So yeah, I actually would avoid the trials every single day. When they come in and ask who wanted to do them, I'd be like, it's like, okay, yeah, no. Well, one day they asked the viewers to vote who they wanted to see do the trials that day. Two people they wanted to see go against each other. So there was this woman who was so over it too. We were constantly bitching, and so they picked us, me and this other woman, to do it. And
They're like, we got to get one of them out of here.
yeah. But it was so funny because people didn't really know. I don't care about getting my hands dirty or my whole entire body dirty for that matter, because I was really dirty by the end of this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure a hot shower felt really good.
Oh
after
my
that.
gosh! Because you have to shower in the you bathe in the river.
Ugh.
Oh my
It
God.
was so bad, and even the water, we had to take it from the river and boil it on the fire to have water to
fuck
drink.
no.
So it tasted like one of the camp members called it liquid cigarette, because it literally tasted like just smoke. It was so bad.
Gross.
So dehydrated every day. It was terrible. But they asked me and this woman to do the trial, and on the way over there, she's like, "You promise you're gonna try?" Because the person who doesn't
She's like,
try,
I don't want to win.
the person who doesn't win gets to leave.
go home.
So you
You're
know.
like, out.
But the thing is I also am the kind of person where I'm very competitive, so I won't let somebody win regardless, just because I just like have to, save face. I gotta
Right.
do the best I can, So I was like, yeah, okay, we'll see on the way over there, and then they had this crazy trial. The trial that we had to do was it's called the Dentalist, and they had these people dressed up in like creepy dentist costumes and sat us in like old rusty dentist chairs, and then they pulled in each increment of the challenge. They had these bugs that we had to stick in our mouth and hold them there for 20 seconds. And they were the craziest, weirdest bugs. My mouth got all cut up by the one. It was so weird. Yeah, and it was so funny because there's the one, it was like a crayfish and it's like circular, and I had to put it in my mouth, and I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, there's gonna be pictures online of me with this stupid crayfish hanging out of my mouth, and sure enough, like that's the picture.
I'm definitely finding that one.
It's so bad.
I'm gonna find that picture, retweeting that picture.
So did you end up winning?
So I ended up winning. I killed it, and I did every single one, and the other girl, we both did really good. There was a tiebreaker, and they had it was pulped cockroaches. So it was literally blended cockroaches, and they're like, you guys have to drink this. It was like mouthwash, jungle mouthwash, they called it. And I was like, well, what if I don't want to drink it? And they're like, well, then we'll go to the public vote and see who gets to leave. So then they went to the public vote, and she was the one that was voted off. So I was like, yes. Well, I wasn't saying yes because I got to camp, you know. But the trials, each trial that we do, the reason that they have the trials is so you win food to bring back to camp. And every day we were starving because people sucked at the trials. But I won every single star, so we had like a full dinner that night. Within reason, you know. They gave you like 1 carrot to split between like 10 people.
Full dinner.
Yeah, but it was like pretty full dinner. I ate kangaroo actually. I think that might have been the night that I had kangaroo. I know it's so gross, but it tasted amazing.
Yeah, at the time, I'm sure anything did.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was filmed in Australia then?
Yeah, it was in Australia, exactly, in the Australian rainforest.
That's so mean.
Yeah, I
they
know.
actually
Isn't that
eat
so
kangaroos
sad?
there?
Yeah, they do. Isn't that so disgusting?
I feel like they're like dogs there.
No, they're like I know.
I wouldn't
right?
eat a dog.
No, they're like deer. Like how deer are kind of like people.
Okay.
They're gamey, but people still eat them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the night we got like a big kangaroo steak and split it between all of us. It was so bomb. Yeah, but everybody was talking shit like before I came back. They're like, oh yeah, because you know I come off as a girly girl. The exterior is this girly girl that's maybe a priss. I'm not like that at all, but I get it. I would probably even think I was that person if I didn't know me.
So they were shocked when you
So
walked
they were
back.
like talking all kinds of shit, like, oh, she's definitely not going to be the one to come back. And I saw all the clips of them like, oh yeah, no, Kayla's. And I came back, I was like, what? I was like, I'm back.
Love that. Love proving people wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So how long did you end up lasting?
So I think I was like the last of 4 people. There were like 4 people
What
left.
the
So
heck?
till the very end, yeah. So
Yeah,
I know,
killed it.
not by choice. I was ready to go, but
Oh, man.
But yeah, it sucked because if I just stayed 4 days, I could have became queen of the jungle. And if I became queen of the jungle, it's a pretty big deal in the UK. You become like an instant like celeb, like
Right.
major star.
Yeah.
It's so weird how
The UK is so weird like that.
Yeah, right?
They've
Like-
got a lot of weird,
Yeah.
random reality TV shows. That
They
they're reality
become
TV there.
huge
Yeah.
celebrities. It's crazy.
They love reality
They
TV there.
love it.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So you were on The Girls Next Door, but you were also on The Girls Next Door, right? Did
Yeah.
you guys meet there?
No, we met at the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was on one episode of The Girls Next Door. It was what did they call it? The bunny house? Was that the name of the?
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, it was
they
just one-
no, they tried to do.
It was like a spin-off of The Girls Next Door.
Yeah, they tried to do a bunny house episode or season.
Yeah,
whatever.
it didn't. We had one episode of it, but
Yeah. It was
yeah.
dumb. We filmed us getting spray tans and stuff. Oh yeah, that's exciting.
No, I think what happened, but from what I heard, that they wanted more drama. They wanted it to be like Bad Girls Club, and Hef wanted it to be like, you know, the original Girls Next Door, rainbows and butterflies, and just
Everybody getting along.
and so it
Gotcha.
got picked up. But yeah, so she was doing a swimsuit line at the time. Were you when I met you?
Mm-hmm.
And you were the dining room of the mansion, and I'm like, I gotta get to know this chick. She's a cartoon character. Kayla, that's what she needs to be doing. She needs to do voiceover work. Do you not agree? Like
As
she's such a cartoon.
No, what's the Simpsons character that you said I'm like exactly?
No, it's Bob's Burgers.
Oh,
and
it's
it's
Tammy.
Tammy.
Do you guys know?
Do you know Tammy from Bob's Burgers?
That's her favorite
I do
cartoon.
sound exactly like her, right? It's so weird.
I'm not gonna be able to unhear it now.
They were like, her and her boyfriend were like, you actually do her voice better than she does her voice.
Oh my god, that show is the best.
She's exactly like Tammy. You're so right. It's kind of freaky now.
That's so funny.
That's
But
crazy.
she could do voiceover acting. Like,
Yeah.
her voice is such a cartoon. She could do so much. Like,
Yeah, I
anyone-
do like little kid voices and stuff. I've never actually done voiceover. I've always wanted to, but it's really hard to get into
I
that.
bet
Well, you could
probably
definitely
have to live
prank
in
call
LA.
people, that's for sure.
Right? Like, I know. No, actually, no, I couldn't because people would just know it was me
Immediately.
right away.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless I pretended to be a little kid. That's probably the only thing I could do.
Let's hear your little kid accent.
Okay, what do I say though? I don't know.
I feel like I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited. No, I don't. I don't even want to.
It was so good. Just the beginning of it. I was so excited.
I need to I don't know. What was I talking about on that reel that I did? I was it was just talking about yucky food or I don't know. If I had a script, I'd be better. I feel like just being on the fly.
I know, it's like calling a comedian.
It
Be
is.
funny.
Right? Yeah, no, I'm too embarrassed. I'd have to be locked in a room where nobody could see me, and because I make weird faces when I do it too, you know, because I'm trying to make the voice. So.
I went on the Howard Stern show and I told
You
them.
did? I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Oh, tell us more about that.
Yeah.
I told them that I can do Luann and Bobby Hill from King of the Hill. I could do their voices, and they told me on the spot to do it, and I could not. It just would not come out.
The awkward moment when you're like, I swear I can in real life.
Yeah,
I just can't
like, right now? No, I can't do it.
You were like, of course they're gonna ask you to do that.
I know, but I was not prepared. It takes a minute to get into it, you know. It's trying,
So can we hear Bobby Hill?
Oh my god!
I know, right?
I'll come back to it and do it at random. When all eyes are on you, it's hard. It's just
Right? Exactly. That's why I just stopped. I was like,
Yeah.
So what were you on the Howard Stern show for? What were you talking about?
That was my Playmate of the Year, so it was just everything.
Oh,
Just
everything.
ran the gamut on literally
Is he crazy
everything.
in person as he seems?
He's an amazing. He gives an amazing interview. He's great. He's exactly how he seems he would be. Yeah. And I ended up smelling his armpit.
oh my gosh.
Interesting.
Was it fresh?
It was very fresh.
Oh, that's
I had
good.
no odor.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, 'cause at the time, I was vocal about I was attracted to certain sweat. I know if I'm attracted to someone if I can vibe with their natural odor. And then he had a lineup of people in the
Vibe with their
all
natural-
right, guys.
Okay, by the way, Claire is a weirdo, but that's why I love her.
No, I love it.
Weirdos unite.
But yeah, so he just had a lineup of all the people, and he was in it, and he was kind of offended that he had a phantom. I called it a phantom pit, and he's just like, "There's no odor." so you're
Phantom
not-
pit?
Yeah. So.
She's so weird.
The title of this show
She's
is
a
called
little bit
Sniffin'
weirder
Pits.
than I am, okay?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's hard. The whole point, it's hard to do a voice on command, but doing voiceover acting, I think, would be the dream because you're in a little cubicle.
Yeah,
Nobody's
exactly.
really around.
Nobody can
you have
see
your
you.
script, and you can roll in your PJs and just do your
Oh,
thing.
hell yeah.
Most,
Yeah.
Love
most
a job you can do in your PJs.
Right?
Yeah.
Most voiceover actors, they'll just go into a studio, that they work with and record it on their own. So it's a pretty dope job.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really want to get.
You should.
I
girl,
know
seriously.
it's just tough. I don't know how. To
I
get
have to make some
started.
sort of portfolio somehow.
I know, right? Yeah, I did make a reel, but then I was like, who do I give it to? So
I
I did
know.
it and then didn't do anything with it. I was like, I don't know.
Well, I have it.
Yeah, I recorded it and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
feel
don't
like
know.
that's
There's
an
probably some sort
agency's
of
job.
manager.
That's
Yeah.
an agency's job, I feel like.
Probably.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just didn't know the right agency, so then I just didn't ever.
So this is a question that both of you could answer. What's it like being at the Playboy Mansion?
You want to go?
It's okay. Yeah, I'll go first, or
Yeah.
I guess
Because you
can
both
chime in.
lived there, right? Or
Essentially across the street.
Yeah,
So,
so she lived in the bunny house. I never actually lived there. I've always had my own place in LA, but I was very loved by Hef because I was his childhood crush. Where he showed me his childhood crush is I don't
Similar
know,
looking to you.
basically looks exactly
Yeah.
like me. Yeah.
The
So
one
he
from
always
King Kong?
favored me. Yeah.
Yes.
You knew that?
Yeah, you look like her.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so he always favored me because I reminded him of her, and he even asked me at one point to be a girlfriend, but not my MO.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you turned it down?
Yeah, because I wanted to kind of go on my own path, and I'm not really, because they're real girlfriends. Let's just like leave it there. They're real girlfriends,
Right.
so it's not like.
Was that the days of like Holly and
Yeah,
Kendra?
and then all of them, every girl that's like been a girlfriend is like a real girlfriend. They do girlfriend stuff.
When he asked you to be a girlfriend, was that when he was with Holly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do these girlfriends all fight?
Yeah, in real life. I hate to say it, but
No, they did. There was so much drama. I feel like
so much
Hef
drama.
thrived on the drama too.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard that before, that he kind of like stirring the pot a little bit.
Yeah, he did. I feel like. I think
Well,
you
that's
gotta
the
think
ultimate
out of it.
pot stir. Here, I have 10
Right,
girlfriends.
right.
Talk
Yeah.
to each other.
It was a crazy experience, just kind of like witnessing it all. The parties were amazing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Obviously, like that was probably the coolest thing about the heyday of the Playboy Mansion, because it's not,
Did they take your phones at these parties, or?
No, especially not us. But no, I don't think they took anybody's phone.
No, I don't think so.
But they wouldn't allow, if they saw somebody taking pictures or
pictures or
videos, they
videos.
wouldn't allow it. But we could, because we were like,
I went to a Diddy party one time in the hills, and they had lockers that we had to put our phone in when
Oh,
we walked
Crazy.
into the house.
Did you have to sign an NDA?
Yeah, signed all that stuff and put your locker in. You couldn't say anything.
If I were
yeah.
famous, I would do the same thing. I mean, you have to
Sure.
think.
mm-hmm.
For you to be comfortable being yourself, like
Right.
getting drunk.
without somebody sitting there filming you.
Yeah,
It's,
and
like,
ending up on
ridiculous.
TMZ, I'd be like, put your phone in that locker or you're not coming in.
Exactly.
Smart,
Yeah, no, I get it. Especially these days.
Mhm. And you don't want to have, like, having your phone sometimes is a burden. If you go in
Yeah.
somewhere and you don't have your phone, you're socializing more. So it's actually kind of dope.
1000%.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
So, is that all you guys are going to tell us about living in?
Well, okay, so it was.
I'm like, I want more.
So
okay?
much secretive. Did you sign an NDA?
No.
No, okay, so it was very much a time capsule. It was stuck in the 70s. When it had been decorated, it looks exactly the same. It was walking into the 70s. So it had like the orange.
Super outdated.
Velvet. Yeah, I loved it though. Like it was a
So
trip.
her style.
Yeah,
the
very
pinup.
you.
Walking right back in time. He has not redecorated it. And
Yeah.
people feel like people's their descriptions of it is that it is a little dusty and dated. And instead of like on most days you would, and what do you think of when you think of going to the Playboy Mansion? Like being surrounded by a bunch of beautiful women and like just frolicking around naked, all these chicks. But on most days it was more like an old person's home. Like it was just like all of
Oh, yeah,
Ed's
all of
friends.
his old friends.
Yeah, so that was the majority. Every night that you'd go up there'd be like 70 plus, and it'd be like maybe one chick that would come up for dinner.
Well, that's
So-
like on Fridays and Saturdays. On
Oh, okay.
Sunday nights, they
then
did.
it was popping. Yeah.
Sunday,
Okay. So
Sunday nights,
That is
all,
poppin'.
Yeah.
Sunday nights, all the playmates would come and they'd play like a new movie that was in the movie theater.
Yeah, so that was
that
dope.
was always so fun because we got to see like whatever was out,
Yeah.
just like at home, kind of, and
Yeah.
like laying down.
Almost
on
like
the
being
ground.
in like a sorority.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of, yeah,
But
it was.
and there was like so much sorority drama too.
Oh hell yeah!
Like it
There
was
just
bad.
the competition.
I was
every
like
year.
hazed. I was totally hazed. I
can
was.
see that.
I won't.
You don't have to say how,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I could imagine.
No, it was bad.
It gets bad.
Well, no,
for
I'll
sure.
tell you what. There was such catty drama between the girls. Like, the year that my issue came out, or every month they would put out our magazines onto the coffee tables, and it was very competitive. Whoever was going to get Playmate of the Year, so we all wanted it, And because I had such a close relationship into the Playboy family, there were some girls that were like super haters on that, and they took my magazines and like drew mustaches and pubic hair on like every single issue that was in the mansion.
So ridiculous.
Wow.
So
But they
mean.
also took my mail that was coming to the mansion, because I would get like mail that would come there, and they were throwing it out and spitting on it, which is just so weird. The butlers told me that one of the girls was doing that. I was like, what the hell?
What
And
the
we never
heck?
had any problems. It was just she was you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's a psychopath.
Just mean.
They
But
all,
there's a lot of, it brings in a lot of
It
different
brings
girls,
in that
so-
temperament. I
Right.
think it's
Yeah.
very inviting for that, for the way that it operates, and it's just like it thrives on insecurity of the girls. Like that's what I said. Have like to steer the pot. He liked the girls to be competitive against each other. So then you get that. You just get just this big old swirl of insecurity and drama, and it's a nasty concoction.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you guys talk to anybody else from the house or any?
Yeah. You mean stay in
Like,
contact
yeah,
with
like,
some of the girls?
are you still friends with them, or are they all just like?
I love Crystal McHale.
Yeah,
She's a
Crystal
sweetie
McHale.
pie.
She's actually out here in Vegas too, or she's
Yeah.
between LA and Vegas. She's awesome. And then
Let's see who else.
There's like a few
You two,
like,
each other.
Yeah, like because Claire and I are like real chicks. Like we're not, we don't
Right.
sugarcoat.
I'm sure
stuff,
that's
so.
hard to find amongst that group of
It
girls.
is. So we're always, the people that we've stayed in contact are like Crystal and, we both are in contact with Holly Madison, who discovered me, and she has a close relationship
I
with
was on
Holly.
Holly's show, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Holly's World, yeah. And then we've just been friends ever since. So, yeah, I mean, she's like one of my closest texting buddies. We barely see each other in person now, though.
Yeah.
She lives in LA a lot of the time, but yeah, she's the homie.
I'm sure she's super busy.
Yeah.
Especially around EDC time with her.
No.
Oh, they broke up.
They broke up?
Yeah, they got divorced, right?
Where have
Yeah,
I
divorced now,
been?
Yeah.
Wait, who did she date?
The president of Insomniac.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
wild.
shit. Where have I been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very nice guy too. He's like the nicest.
He's a ray of sunshine. Like
He really is. He's like his energy is just like
Golden.
"Aw."
Yeah.
Seriously, it's crazy.
pure.
Yeah.
Did you
He's
go
so
to
nice.
EDC this year or no?
No.
Last year. It
Yeah,
was so
last
fun.
year. It was so fun.
Oh
We
my
always go
God.
together.
Oh.
She's my EDC buddy. No,
Yes.
this year I can't remember. I think I was DJing somewhere else. I can't remember.
I feel like we met Kayla around EDC time. Didn't
Or
we?
like
it was
did you-
like
did-
a year
yeah, I
or two
think, like,
before, right?
not this past one, the last
year before.
Yeah.
The year
Exactly.
before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Like around probably like a month or two before, I think. think so.
Yeah.
Just feels like it was around that
Yeah,
time.
it was.
Oh my God! At EDC this year, or last year when I went with her, I was so dehydrated. We were walking around, and
And you had a blister on the back
Oh,
of your
Oh,
But-
that's such a day ruiner.
yes, but
Blisters
I
on your
went-
feet, you're like, fuck.
There was
Yeah.
I wanted water, and the guy didn't take a card, and I didn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
any cash.
Oh, that was
So-
this was wild.
Yeah, so I'm like, dude, I'm dehydrated. I really, really need some water, and I looked everywhere for some. And I'm like, can I please just? I'm like, if
He
you can't
literally
take my-
started wrestling.
I grabbed the water. I'm like, I'm just gonna take a sip of this. And he was like gonna wrestle me down.
He literally was like wrestling her for the bottle of water.
Yeah, I'm
She's
like,
I'm
I'm, like,
so desperate,
screaming.
please. And
Oh
he's like,
my God.
no, help, help.
It was
the guy that was standing in the water was like, help, she's stealing.
Yeah,
Wow.
some freaking water. I'm like, and it's at EDC you need to be hydrated, of course.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like pushing her and stuff. Like it was crazy.
It was nuts.
This past EDC was freezing actually. It was cold.
I saw that,
yeah,
or
it was
heard
freezing.
that, yeah, and I saw everybody all bundled up at the end.
I did it so right though. So I showed up in regular EDC attire, but I brought a backpack with sweatpants and a sweater in it.
Aw,
Yes.
that's
So by the
awesome.
time it was cold and I did not give a fuck by the end, and everyone's all in their like booty shorts, freezing, and I'm like, I'm
Yes,
fine. I don't
that's
care.
so
I don't care if
smart.
I'm cute anymore because I already took all my pictures.
Yeah, you took your
And then-
pictures and that was it.
I love
That's all you
it.
need.
Yes,
Yes.
that is really smart. And
Did
then
it
you're
so
like
right.
enjoying yourself because you could just be comfortable.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Wait,
Yeah,
I
it
have
was
a
a way
great
to do it.
EDC story. It's about Kayla.
Okay.
It was not this past year, the year before. This is like one of my favorite stories to tell because it's insane. Kayla got
Oh,
drunk
God.
and she's getting sick at EDC. She's
Drunk.
throwing up. She was drunk. She was throwing up in trash cans. Every trash can along the way. A fan comes walking up
That's
to her
bad.
to try and take a picture with her while she's throwing up in the trash.
Wait, this is this year?
No, the year before.
Oh, the year before.
The really hot
Oh
one.
my
Oh my
god.
goodness.
It
Yeah.
was. I'm like, really, bro? Like, really?
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
I know. I'm like
You poor baby.
puking in the trash can. He's like, "Can I just get a picture with you?" And I'm like,
No.
"I don't think now's the time, bro." Like,
Did you end up taking a picture?
No.
Yeah.
No, I had to shoot
I didn't
him
even,
away.
I barely made it to the next trash can after that.
Oh my
like it was
gosh.
so bad. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was my own fault though.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was.
Don't feel bad for
that
me.
was one downfall, but it was funny though. It's a good story. It's memory.
Yeah.
Well, we got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys?
Well, I'm producing music now, so that's like
Ooh, you
yeah.
go, girl.
So I'm gonna be releasing a bunch of different stuff soon. I've been actually produced for years, but I just haven't put anything out. Kind of like trying to define my sound. So that's like what I've been focusing on. I'm getting ready to go to Asia and have something in the works for the Asia tour. So yeah, that's pretty much it. DJing is like the main thing that I'm focusing on, and
Sick. I'm excited to hear your music.
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to play it for you guys.
Yeah. What about you, Claire? Anything?
Well, Claire B&B is keeping me really busy, but I really want to do either a podcast or YouTube channel focusing on mental illness and my experience with all different medications and reviews of them.
Whoa.
And yeah, just diving in deep and bringing on guests and having their experiences with it as well. And just like, I think that would be...
That's super interesting.
Yeah, I think it would be really helpful because when I started all my medication, I'm bipolar. So I've been on literally like every medication combination in the world. And I'd go on YouTube and I'd try and watch these reviews of people, and like, it's very short and you don't get follow-ups on what happened with them and their experiences with it. And I mean, they completely, some of these medications alter your whole persona. It's so crazy what changes.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to have a play-by-play of what happens and what to expect for people that are starting the medications.
Damn,
so,
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so I want to start that up. That's definitely something that I need to like.
That would be
working on.
awesome.
Yeah, I think you definitely should do that. That's so cool.
I feel like
And
you
you could
research
unique and
everything. Hold on,
different.
question. Do you watch true crime stuff and like?
Yeah, I love true crime.
I just had a feeling. I'm like, I was waiting for you to ask her about that. I just felt like you watched true crime.
Yes, I watch true crime.
Kayla's obsessed with it.
I'm very much into it. Super
Yes.
obsessed to the point
You're a
where...
Scorpio though, so yeah.
I actually have this meme that I saved for Kayla. I was gonna send it on a group chat to us, but it's so funny. This is so Kayla. I need to find this meme. Okay, hang on. Because Claire is like really into astrology.
Ooh.
And so hang on a second.
What are you?
That's a whole nother
I'm a
podcast
Gemini.
too.
You're a
Right?
Gemini?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the two of you together are me. I'm a Gemini with a Scorpio moon.
Oh wow.
Yes, I'm
Dang.
your combination.
That would be interesting to put on a podcast also, along with
Astrology, yeah, that for sure. I would dive into that. Like, it wouldn't just solely focus on mental illness, but like it'd be a big part of it. And
I'm sure that there's some things that go hand in hand also,
Yeah,
with like
for
mental
sure.
illness and astrology and who you are as a person. I think that'd
the
be really
psychology
cool.
of it all, yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
interesting. So, yeah, I mean, that'd
You
be
could have
exciting.
doctors on.
Hell
There's a
yeah.
bunch of different ways you could go.
Yes.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
she's like an astrology whiz. Oh, here it is. This is Kayla.
Oh God. How Scorpios react when someone tries to get to know them, and it's this baby looking at them like.
Isn't that so, Kayla?
She's like,
That's
Because you're like
that's so.
suspect of people. And,
Always.
yeah.
It takes me a long time, and you could probably tell me more about myself and why I'm like that.
Yeah.
Probably due to being a Scorpio, but it just takes me so long to like let people in and get to know people.
But that's smart and that's good,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Hard
it's the way to do
exterior.
it.
You know,
Yeah, I
whatever.
feel you.
Alrighty, well, do you guys want to plug any of your social media or?
Yeah, where can
any
we
of that
find you?
stuff?
My Instagram is just my first and last name, Kayla Collins, and then my Facebook is official Kayla Collins.
And make sure you go Google those pictures of her with the bugs in her mouth.
yes.
Oh, and my SoundCloud is Kayla Collins Music.
Yes.
Website is clairebnb.com if you want to check out the hotel, and my Instagram is I'm Claire Sinclair because Claire Sinclair was taken by somebody.
Oh, we need to hit that person up.
Yeah.
And we need to get
That's the
your
worst.
account.
That is the
We need to
worst.
get your account.
No, but make sure you go Google all the pictures of her hotel because it's beautiful and
Thank you so
amazing, and
much.
you
Thank
guys are
you.
gonna love it. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for being on. It was so fun talking to you. Let's go get dinner.
Yes.